Hello everybody. Today I have the honor and pleasure to speak with a brilliant film director and producer. His name is DW Phillips. By the way, he's such a warm-hearted and compassionate man, you will see. DW Phillips is the executive producer of an incredibly beautiful and heart-filling series of films called Kyijv of mine. 3 chapters have already been shot, 3 are yet to come. The 3 existing ones you can already see for free on YouTube. I'll link them down below. My name is Christoph Müller. I'm a musician and caricature artist, and I make videos for Ukraine here on YouTube. I'm as well the initiator of a large YouTube orchestra project called We Play for Ukraine. Maybe we also briefly talk about this. If you like this program here, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to this channel. This will help a lot and more people can see this program. So before we jump right into our interview, I would like to show you the teaser of Kyijv of mine. Here it is. Enjoy.
First of all, we don't say they Ukraine. We are Ukraine.
Often people say that Ukraine, it's like Russia.
Ukraine? Is it a separate country? You're not part of Russia?
Despite the fact that Moscow would like to call us younger brothers, everything started from here, from Kyijv.
There's a Wild West element to it that reminds me of New York City in the 1980s.
When people from other countries come here and say, you have a fun country, we say, oh, really? You think so?
I came to Ukraine 4 years ago. I opened 4 restaurants.
I hope that my art will introduce Ukraine all around the world.
The first computer in Europe was built in Ukraine. The largest plane in the world is Ukrainian. The most efficient rocket in the world, Ukrainian.
We are a new generation, and it's our choice not to live the same way as our parents did.
It's still a Soviet mentality. The older generation cannot really teach them and mentor them.
Young people, they want to create something new.
We became less afraid of the future. Kyijv is safer than Chicago or New York. Kyijv is safer than London.
Are you feeling optimistic about the future?
Yes, definitely.
On Wednesday, people just set up their alarm clock for Thursday to go to work.
I was not believing it. It cannot be true. And then my husband woke me up. Kyijv was bombed.
5 a.m. My boyfriend and I woke up from sound of the first missiles.
I don't know, maybe there are some rules that countries should make some announcement. We are invading your country. Be ready. But it was out from nowhere.
You know, it is the biggest secret for all of Ukrainians. We don't understand for what is this war.
We're basically finding a pure definition of evil.
So it's summer 2023, and all of us got used to living the life as it is.
Of course, when I'm hearing it, I feel scared. But it's for a few seconds, because I know what I need to do. In 5 minutes, we need to be in a safe place, but the life is still continue.
Initially, you're afraid. Then you're just, well, all right, another missile attack. But on the other hand, fuck it, I need to live my life. All of us are tired of being on adrenaline all the time.
You have to understand that it's a new life. There is no return to old life. And of course, I miss the old one.
It's strange because a lot of our people dying every day. But I feel life in the air.
The country is still at war, but you actually don't see it in the small moments. What you see is people living.
I got engaged.
People stopped thinking maybe we'll do it tomorrow. No, we do it today.
People have changed here, helping each other.
Ukrainian identity solidified over the last year and a half.
We became more kind, much more helpful.
The world got to know Ukraine, but also Ukrainians got to know Ukraine.
Welcome to our channel, DW. Glad to have you here.
Christoph, I'm so thankful to be here. I want to say a couple of things at the very beginning. The first is that it warms my heart, and I feel deeply grateful when I meet musicians and artists that are committed to telling the story of the greatest battle of freedom in our lifetime. What's taking place in Ukraine is the defining issue of freedom for the entire world. And the outcome of this battle will determine life for our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. And I personally believe that cinema and music are two of the most important vehicles for reaching the hearts of people about the cause of Ukraine. You know, we're fighting this war on the battlefield, but we're also fighting it in the information war. And the information war involves different things. It involves addressing Russian propaganda and disinformation, but it also involves reaching the heart. Your work, and I was delighted to see you on Jake Bro's show, wonderful presentation, by the way, your work dealing with music and film, this is what reaches the hearts of people. Now, I want to say about my work with Kyijv Mine. Kyijv Mine is presently a 3-chapter film series. There will be 3 more yet to be filmed. I'm executive producer. I feel that I owe everything to the people that held the cameras and directed this over the course of 8 years. The film crew, the filmmakers and the producers going back to 2018 are some of the most, I think, visionary people in that the heart and soul of this team behind Kyijv Mine, which, by the way, has a strong international element. People from around the world that fell in love with Ukraine and that want to see Ukraine, the true story of Ukraine, come out to people, and the vibrancy of Ukraine and the beauty of Ukraine and the spirit of Ukraine. And Kyijv, specifically, they began in 2018. When this project began, no one knew there was going to be a full-scale invasion. No one knew there would be COVID. So imagine, Christoph, you start a project, and at the beginning, you're trying to destroy these Borat-type images that people have of Ukraine as a 12th century ancient city where and in reality, it's one of the most thriving, remarkable, incredible upswing towns, full of fun, great cuisine, amazing music. So the filmmakers came together and they said, we're going to tell the story and we're going to tell it the right way. We want people to fall in love. And it has been dubbed a love letter to the city of Kyijv. So I feel a great honor to be associated with this project. And if you watch it, and I know you've seen portions of it, it's done with excellence, absolute excellence. It's engaging, it's funny, it's happy.
It's honest.
At times it's honest. I think that's the way to put it. So I'm grateful for that. But I will conclude this opening comment by saying, Christoph, that it always warms my heart to be speaking to an artist and one who realizes that art serves many purposes. It heals the soul, it speaks to the heart, but it also helps people to understand on a very empathetic level. It helps them to understand how to identify with those who are suffering and those who are fighting. And I don't know if you've been to Kyijv, Christoph, you and I haven't, or to Ukraine, we haven't spoken of that. But the minute you enter Ukraine, your world changes and you fall in love with the people, absolutely fall in love. And you are excited. And you also understand we must stand with them. We must stand with them. So those are some first thoughts. And again, I'm very grateful to be here with you today.
DW, I cannot tell you now how much your speech now just touched my heart, and it is so true what you said. When you enter into Ukraine, then you feel that those people are very, very special, very valuable, very good people. By the way, I'm married to a Ukrainian woman. I'm married. That's why I know Ukraine really 100, 200, 500% better than the average, 1,000% better, 10,000% better than the average German, because they still are away. And unfortunately, it's also necessary to talk about all those negative issues which come also from the Russian disinformation and propaganda. And what you just said about art is so true, because the art is that most underestimated vehicle of bringing emotions and of bringing of bringing truth to the people, to the people's hearts. And that's why, we in Germany, or in the most civilized countries, people, they see nowadays art or music, film, whatever kind of art, they see it as a some leisure. I'm going to work, and then I go maybe also into to a concert and have some fun, and then I go to work again the next day. So, but this is what I understood about Ukraine. It is art and music and all those kinds of art. They are a part of the culture of a country, and Ukraine's
very much so.
And Ukraine's culture is all the time, since they are there, it is under attack from the Russians and from other people. But the Russians, they are really the best in destroying things and twisting things around. And the Russians, they use art also, and music and theater and cinema and all kinds of art. I made another episode with Sergei Sumleny about that. He said also there is this iconic thing, that soldiers with weapons, but they have also ballerinas with tutu attacking also the other ones. That's
the Russians have incentivized people within the artistic community to be spokesmen for their campaigns of death. And they have incentivized them by letting them know, if you want the favor of the war criminal who lives at the Kremlin, you must use your art to advance this horrible campaign of injustice which is taking place. But I think this, being married to Ukrainian, one of the joys that I have in Ukraine is walking into a town square at 9 o'clock at night. And there, whether I'm in Ivano-Frankivsk or in Lviv or in Kyijv itself, you walk into the town square and what do you see? You see people of every age and generation, young, 20s, 40s, the elderly. They're there and they're singing. Sometimes there's a piano that's been taken out into the town square. Sometimes there are guitars, and they're all singing the same songs. They're singing the songs of freedom, all the generations together, no division. And the songs they sing are of liberty, they're of love, they're of faith, they're of beauty, which is what music is supposed to give to us because it speaks to our soul. My background, before I became an attorney, before I became a filmmaker, I started off in orchestra. I was a violin player. I was a conductor for a little while, very briefly. Wow. And so my mother gave me a classical training. My father was into the American musical theater. So I had a mixture of Americana, and of orchestra. And what I've always seen is that it doesn't even matter your political persuasion or where you're from. Music has the capacity of bringing people together and of finding common identities. And we see this in Ukraine. We see the power of music where, I've seen it over and over again, Christoph. Mm-hmm. They're singing songs that their grandparents have sung. And visitors come and everyone comes together and it's so beautiful, it's so powerful. In the film series Kyijv of mine, we give you whispers and flavors of that entire ethos, that very vibrant cultural ethos of which music is a critical part. It's a very, very critical part. So in the fight, I believe, and I know that you do as well, and our producer, Ronnie Aptaker, and our entire film team, I think everyone would stand here and say to you that we know that without music, you cannot effectively communicate the message. And so choosing that properly is very, very vital. And it is actually reflective of the Ukrainian spirit.
This is, fantastic. This is for me very interesting to see in this film series how carefully music is selected. And
thank you.
Absolutely, it's full of musical impressions inside, which perfectly fit, and that makes this piece of art and this work so. My English is not good enough to express now what I want to say, but it's like. It touches on the maximum possibility and it brings the truth inside which those protagonists, the people.
If you can imagine.
Yeah, carry on.
I was just going to say. I was going to say that when the team was putting together the music, the amount of our producer Ronnie Apteker has like described it to me in some of our communications together. Just the intensity, the careful thought, the revising, making sure the music is exactly right, finding the right pieces, all of those different things. I'm very proud of the result. The viewers who watched the series, and I know you're putting the link below so that they can click on to Kyijv of mine. The viewers that go and watch that, I mean, they could just listen to the soundtrack. And I think it's the sort of thing that visually it's powerful, but the soundtrack itself is great. And it's interesting. We even have a clip in there from the legendary rock band Pink Floyd that opened the door for us to be able to do something like that. And I like it because as I was mentioning, my background is in very diverse types of music, originally classical music, but everything under the sun I've grown up to love and enjoy. And there's a little flavor of all of that. But recently, since the full-scale invasion, my passion is Ukrainian music. And it lifts my heart. It just lifts my heart to hear Ukrainian music. I love it so much. I hope people feel that infused in Kyijv of mine, that just sort of that connectiveness that Kyivans and Ukrainians have, especially during this very difficult time. It has helped. I believe that the crisis has helped redefine or has helped to amplify the identity of what it means to be Ukrainian. As an American who comes from a country that at least once upon a time, right now we're having problems, but once upon a time in the United States, we spoke always of liberty, of freedom, of what it meant to feel like part of the American identity. It's how I grew up. Today, it's a mess. But once upon a time, we did that. That's what Ukraine is doing right now. Who are we as Ukrainians? What do we believe? What do we share in common? And music is the common thread that helps them to articulate those feelings and those passions. You know that life is short.
Yeah.
You know that life is short. You know that the battle is real. And every moment you have with someone, it matters. It really matters because we don't know if there will be a tomorrow. That's how I feel about it. And it's a person that is not familiar with how Russia operates probably cannot fathom the depth of the evil that we're dealing with, but it's beyond normal conversation.
Absolutely.
So after the war, maybe you can help me score the film. I want to tell the story of what that's like.
I would love to participate in that project, and I'm sure we will do it soon enough. So because I am convinced that the good will win over the evil, and people like Jake Bro, for example.
I believe that,
and all people like you, people like Jonathan Fink, like all those great people. They do it because
all my friends. They're all my friends.
Operator Starsky
is my good friend.
Fantastic guy. Starsky.
Wow, he's great.
He's really great. By the way, if you talk to Starsky, please tell him getting back to me. I tried to get him, but he's occupied. So, but anyway. Yeah, and hi, Starsky, if you see that, please come back to me. I would love it. You know, you promised talking to me. What I wanted to say, the evil has no chance against the good. That's the good news. That's the good news. If the devil wants to remind you of your past, then you should remind the devil of his future. that's
well said. That's very well. I think that's brilliant. May I borrow that from you? I like it.
You just can have it for free. Don't borrow it.
Well, evil is real. Evil is very real. There has always been evil, and evil is from the beginning. And we are at war with forces that many would describe as demonic. They're just absolutely beyond the human realm of how terrible it is. The complete absence of conscience is extraordinary. I filmed in Bucha.
Wow.
I spoke to people who were there during the Holocaust of what happened there. And then I spoke to people. Well, I filmed all different types of people. I filmed children who watched parents and neighbors executed. I filmed in different, not in Bucha, but in other places. I filmed war orphans to get their stories. One who escaped from a Russian prison camp, who probably would have been exported and essentially trafficked back in Russia if they had kept their hands on her. The indefatigable perseverance of Ukrainians and the clarity that they have is in part because of how evil their opponents are. when you come from a community where people are just executed, you realize we're not playing games here. Yeah. Which brings me back to filmmaking and to the work that you and I do in this sense. I'm trying to help Americans and Europeans to understand and to build sympathy. Sometimes the truth is so dark that they can't process it. It's just too much.
Yes.
They don't know what to do with it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and again, I come back to joy, beauty, hope, encouragement, humanity. And this is what Kyijv of mine does. If Kyijv of mine is actually different from every film about the war that I have seen, completely different in its objective and in how the film is prosecuted, how it's put together. In this sense, it isn't so much about wars or battles. That's on the periphery of the film. It's about humanity. It's about, we have decided to have babies during the war. We have fallen in love during the war. My business, we're going to keep going during this war. Here's what I've discovered about myself. Here's how I respond to the fact that there are bombs dropping outside my window. This is what this means to me as a mother, as a father. What it is to sing and dance and to enjoy and to really feel my culture. So there are a lot of films, and every film has its purpose. Every film has its purpose. When Mstislav won the Oscar with 20 Days in Mariupol, I mean, incredible, absolutely incredible. How can we describe how powerful that film is? But it's a hard film to watch. It's hard because it's as powerful and as amazing as it is. I mean, you're walking into the gates of hell. It's incredible. And anyone who knows that I've interviewed people associated with Mariupol. I haven't been to Mariupol, but I've been in the field of Mars in Lviv, where defenders from Mariupol were buried, and their mothers and their wives are there every single night, laying flowers and remembering their husbands. Christoph, I filmed a woman. I don't know that this has ever been done before, and I have not released it yet because I want it to go into a film. But I had an extraordinary interview, with a mother whose son was in the building where the battle was taking place at Mariupol, the famed, warehouse. And he's there with his friend, and the Russians are coming in, and he's on the phone with his mother, talking to her in the final 10 minutes of his life. So the Russians are coming in. He's talking to his mother. He's sitting there. Most of his friends are dead. They know that there's only two things that can happen. Number one, they can be captured. Number two, they can be killed. They will not allow themselves to be captured. And they won't allow themselves to be captured because they know what the Russians will do. And they don't believe that God would allow them to commit suicide.
Okay.
So they make a decision. And this is not about the ethics of this decision. This is about the humanity of the moment that I share it. And the decision is, I'll take care of you and you take care of me. We'll fight it out to the last minute, but I'll take care of you and you take care of me, these two people. And the mother is on the other end, listening to all of this as it happens. Has this ever happened before in history, where parents are actually there with their children in the last moments? It's incredible. That should be a feature film. It should help people to understand the mindset. But I share this with you because the stories that are coming out of here, we haven't had these kind of stories since the Second World War. It's just extraordinary. It's really, really extraordinary. And in Kyijv of mine, I will say that I really believe that what we've accomplished, what the team did when they just finessed all the details of this film, is they were able to put in so much efficiently, taking us through 12 different lives, all these different storylines, addressing propaganda points, but doing it in kind of a soft way. And then weaving it together with music. It's very, very unique. It's different than other films which are out there. And it's the kind of thing that anybody could sit and watch. Kids could watch with their parents.
Yeah.
And other films which we'll be remembering forever, like 20 Days in Mariupol, they're hard. I watch it and I can't think straight for 3 more days. And I don't want my little kids to see it, but I want to see it. So that's where we are. And I believe when everything is said and done, music and cinema will be part of the storytelling that our great-grandchildren will watch to understand what happened at this pivotal moment in history.
Wow, that's very touching what you just tell here. And the problem is that the people have this capacity to lie to themselves. They don't want to watch things. They say, "Oh, this doesn't interest me," and something must come to open their hearts. Some people will be never reached. Other people all of a sudden interest themselves, and others like us, you and I, DW, we are aware from the very beginning of it. But I can tell you, in the beginning, I also was not aware of it. But when I came to Ukraine, I fell in love to the country, to the people like you. And then my wife, she told me that we Ukrainians, she said, we always have the same struggle all the time for eternity. It's like it's our destiny. We have to fight the Russians and other forces, other evil forces, but nobody will be able to kill our spirit. Nobody will be able to kill our thoughts. They can kill us, but they never can kill our culture and our people. That's what she was saying with a kind of, yeah, it's like that. And I had all of a sudden,
Christoph,
wow. All of a sudden, I had this, when she said that was 20 years ago, I had this feeling, this is not fair. I will do something against it. For this time, for the first time in history, it will be different. Ukraine stays free. Ukraine is a free, democratic, good country. It will never be overwhelmed again by evil forces. Never. And me as a German, especially, I'm very responsible for that, because my ancestors have been the Nazis, the Adolf Hitler Nazis, and they had an evil empire just like the one in Russia now, and they were destroying people, and they were making big, crazy harm over humanity. So this, I am specially responsible to help that this never can happen again. And that's why even if I'm just a musician, I say in air quotes, a musician, it is my task to do what I do, as you do. And I admire what you and your colleagues and your friends in Ukraine have accomplished already, and everybody must see this. And if I can help, whatever I can do is to also make that this series will be shown more in Germany. I think it's important that the people in Germany also watch this. It should be in German television. It should be everywhere in Germany also, that people know more about Ukraine.
Well, if we can get this, we wanted this film to be free, which is why we put it on YouTube. But we would like to see it on television, and we'd like to see it in Germany. We'd like to see it wherever it can be broadcast and shown. These first 3 chapters are very interesting because chapter 1 is really the world before the war. It's the time when Kyijv is grown into maturity and is just full of vibrancy and life. And chapter 2 deals with that moment when this full-scale invasion takes place and how do people respond to it. And then chapter 3 deals with, okay, the war's been going on. How are we responding to it now? What's happening now? And you see even an optimism in the midst of the difficulty. I got married. I'm having children. We're not going to stop. The war is terrible, but here's our message. We have 3 more chapters we have to do, which is telling the story of what is actually happening right now. And because it's difficult. Right now is a super difficult, horribly difficult moment for Ukrainians. I don't know if you do this, Christoph, but I'm at a different time zone than Ukraine, but I'm up all through the night, almost every night. And the reason why is because I have friends all throughout Ukraine, and I have the missile alert on my phone. And I lose friends. I have friends that have been killed, and I'm always worried about my friends. So I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. What's happening on the missile alert? What cities have been hit? And then I'll call my friend. Are you okay? Is everything all right? I mean, this is night after night, week after week. I don't call every night, but I'm saying I watch it every day. That's for sure. So it's very, very present. It's very, it's very real to me, and I know it's very real to others. Getting back to film Kyijv of mine, then we have a chapter which we're going to be excited. I mean, we're excited for every chapter that we do. But this chapter, which is part of the Kyijv of Mine series, is, okay, we won. What happens next? And we're looking forward to that. That's, okay, the war has changed. We are now rebuilding Ukraine. What does that look like? And when everything is said and done, I think this series will be unique in that it will have started in 2018. These filmmakers that started in 2018, and they're going to be filming in 2027, 2028, maybe beyond that. We'll see what happens. Who knows? All we know is that we want it to be a complete message, but that message has not played out yet. But I believe with all of my heart, and I feel very strongly, this is not just optimistic thinking. I believe this evil will be defeated. I don't know how it's going to be defeated. I do not believe it can be sustained. The history of the world reminds us that evil empires do not persist. And I believe there is a God in heaven who will not allow it. And it will not happen. That's a day I'm looking forward to. I want to be there in Kyijv for the celebration on Victory Day.
Amen. I will say exactly. This is so. You are so full of optimism, and it will come to many Ukrainians. In my the project, I had the honor to start this We Play for Ukraine, when musicians from many famous orchestras play together the Ukrainian anthem and the European anthem. That was in the beginning of the full-scale invasion when I started with this program and put it together. I know that this. The message is still to come, because Ukraine is a part of Europe. Europe is part of Ukraine. We belong together. That's what the Europeans must understand. And I want to re-edit this little film, and it should end really also with Crimea. With the Crimea, that the Ukrainians
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yes. They will spend their holidays in Crimea and relax and say, now it's ours again, and it's forever ours, and we'll spend our holidays and relax here in the sun, and evil is out. That's how I want to re-edit it.
I think that's beautiful. Crimea is a far more important story than people realize.
Yeah.
Ukraine must have Crimea. Crimea is Ukraine.
Yes.
And it's the test. So, and you like myself, you probably know Crimeans, and they can't go home. They can't go home.
Sorry for this interruption. Now, we had such an interesting and quite long conversation, so I decided to split the interview into two halves. The next one will be published right away. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, so please do that now. This would be of enormous help. Please also don't hesitate to write your comments into the comments section. See you in the next one.